I call the April 27th, 2026 Mexico City Council meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Miller,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Fink,
Yep.
Ray,
Yes.
Hay,
Yes. Need approval of minutes.
Motion to approve the minutes of April 13th, 2006.
Second.
2006.
Miller,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Fink,
Yes.
Ray,
Yes.
Hay,
Yes. New business, bill number 2026-20, a resolution authorizing city manager to enter into an agreement with the Optimist Club of Mexico. Mr. Slagle.
Yes, Your Honor, this agreement with the Optimist Club is to assist in providing services to the City of Mexico and offset some of their operational costs. And to cover the details of the resolution of the request, Chad Underwriter, Park and Rec Director.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. This is a collaboration where the City of Mexico has supported the Optimist Club at least since 2009 with what have record on, and so it is a budget line item. And so I would recommend that we assist in $7,500 again as per the budget. Be happy to answer any questions as far as this pertaining.
I move for the reading of Bill 2026-20.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Fink,
Yes.
Ray,
Yes.
Hay,
Yes.
Bill 2026-20, a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with the Optimist Club of Mexico, Missouri to assist in providing services for the Mexico community. I move for passage of Bill 2026-20.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Fink,
Yes.
Ray,
Yes.
Hay,
Yes. Bill number 2026-21, a resolution authorizing city manager to execute agreements with various organizations for recommended funding with the tourism tax. Mr. Slagle.
Yes, Your Honor, the Tourism Commission has met. They've reviewed applications for funding. And to cover their recommendations for funding, Vicki Dinky, Finance Director.
Good evening, council. We come again with 3 more recommendations for funding with the tourism tax. The attached resolution authorizes the city manager to execute agreements with Missouri Life, the Girls Night Out Relay for Life team, and the Mexico JCs Incorporated to receive tourism funding for their advertising campaign. The Tourism Commission met last week and reviewed applications for tourism funding and recommends to City Council the distribution of funds as follows. Missouri Life for their annual campaign within their publication for $16,925. The Girls Night Out Relay for Life team event with the Jake Clayton Show for $1,500, and the Mexico JCs for their soybean festival for $5,500. So staff recommends that council concur with the commission's recommendation and proceed with reading by title only and passage of the attached resolution. Do you have any questions?
These are what we've done in the past, right?
They are?
Yeah.
I move for reading of Bill 2026-21.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Fink,
Yes.
Ray,
Yes.
Hay,
Yes.
Bill 2026-21, a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute agreements with various organizations for recommended funding from the Mexico tourism tax. I move for passage of Bill number 2026-21.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Briggs, Fink,
Yes.
Ray,
Yes.
Hay,
Yes. Other business, staff report, public safety salary adjustments. Mr. Slagle.
Yes, Your Honor. This agenda item concerns the public safety officers, hourly officers' rate of pay, and the current market factors that are affecting our recruitment of those officers. Currently, the city has authorized 34 full-time public safety officers, and we currently have 9 positions open. All of the employees that have resigned recently indicated that one of the reasons for leaving was for better pay. Many of our surrounding communities, cities, and counties have recently increased their starting rates of pay for officers, which have also added to our hiring difficulties. The starting average wage rate for Mexico is at least $1 per hour lower than our comparable cities in the area. Some cities, in order to fund these increases, though, have, for their starting salaries, have flattened the pay ranges, decreased benefits, and/or required higher participation from employees in paying for benefits. None of that is what we're recommending here, though, this evening, because, as council remembers, at the last meeting, we did approve the hiring of McGrath Human Resources to conduct a competitive pay and benefit compensation study. And this overall objective is to keeping the city's total compensation market plan competitive for all employees. The information in the McGrath study will be used in developing the pay rates for the city's next fiscal year. So those will become into play when we do the budgeting and in October of this year. Research analysis now indicates that the city's starting wage rate for officers is low when compared to other groups. Therefore, I am recommending an hourly pay range schedule increase now in order to affect some changes. What I'm recommending, council, is that the hourly officers for public safety grades will remain the same. However, current steps 1 and 2 will be deleted. Steps 3 through 11 then will be renumbered 1 through 9 at the current rate of pay, and we'll add new steps 10 and 11 to be added at a pay rate of 2% above the immediate step below. All employees on the schedule then will remain at their current rate of pay grade, but the step will then receive the new rate of pay as assigned. This means that starting public safety officers will increase from $44,075 per year to $46,779. I'm also recommending the new pay schedule rates of pay would be effective with the next full pay period. All of the expenses associated with making these pay adjustments during this current fiscal year will be paid for by savings from the current position vacancies. So therefore, no budget amendment is necessary to make this happen. I would recommend that the council concur with the recommendation and authorize the increase in the City of Mexico's position classification of pay range Schedule B for public safety officers' hourly rates of pay. Questions?
When did you say that they would take effect?
At the next full pay period, yeah.
Like next month, basically?
Well,
Okay.
actually, I think it will take place like in the next 2 weeks.
So it's a two-week cycle, basically?
Yeah.
Okay.
How do you move a step?
Yeah, how you move a step is that, in most cases, like this last year, is that we recommended, everybody take a step increase plus the cost of living that we rated at 1% last time. So,
It doesn't have anything to do with longevity.
it's supposed to mean every year you move a step, but as you also know from being on council for a while, there's been times we haven't moved steps because we couldn't afford to do it. So, but ideally, you move a step every year of seniority.
How long is the probationary rate?
The probationary rate can vary depending on how long they're in it. For example, we created that when we had some younger folks that could not go to the academy just yet, so we hired them like at age 20 and put them in the fire station for a while, and then they were able to go then to the academy at some time later, and so during their entire time in the fire station and at the academy, they get paid the probationary rate, and then when they come back from the academy is when they move up. So that could vary anywhere from 3 months to a year, depending on the situation that each individual may have been in at the time.
Do you, this, having 9 positions open is pretty critical. I mean, that's pretty serious.
We're down 26%,
Right.
that hurts. We're down to really what I would say
So
minimum staffing levels.
if we approve this, how soon do you think we would see the benefits from it?
You never know. I know from talking with the chief that he interviewed, 3 people last week? 2 or 3? 3. And he may get 1 out of that group.
We'll see, maybe 2, we'll see.
So, it's just really hard finding officers right now across the board, and it just doesn't seem to matter what city, where you're at. It's just everyone's down.
But we have to help the situation.
But we have to help the situation to make it better, so at least we keep them looking at us.
Right.
We're looking at about a $2,000 raise, it appears, or something of that sort. Step 1
Yeah,
is 46 and it was 24.
2704.
Yeah, so it's,
but it's basically
6%.
about a $2,700 increase.
is that enough?
Well, based on what I've looked at, I feel it is now until I have the other full information from the McGrath study. Could you make the argument for more? I'm sure you could. But
What do
I
we
also
want?
want to make sure I have the full information on full compensation before I make that
So
recommendation.
does this make us competitive, though?
It makes us better.
Makes us better.
Yeah, now, and I can give you some examples. And I looked at like 3 of our cities, and I'll just take Fulton, and I don't want to bore you with a lot of numbers, but it is important. Because if I looked at our current salary, and then we have some different variables that you look at that sometimes these young folks don't, but, you know, it is out there. You know, I tried to sit there and say, look, everybody's got vacation, everybody's got holidays, you know, everybody's kind of in the health insurance zone. One of the things that we do that most of them don't is we do contribute to an HSA, a health savings account. We do offer the L6 retirement plan, the pension plan. So take Fulton. They are about, just on starting salary, we were at $44.75, they were at $47,500. But they don't contribute anything to your HSA, and they also make you pay 4% of your retirement. So when you take that away, they come down to $45.6, which is pretty much, you know, comparable to us. So if you then do this increase, then we're about $3,000 higher than them. Now, that's police, and our guys do double duty too. So you take Moberly on the other hand, they're like 47.17. They do contribute some to their HSA, and they do have the retirement plan, not as good as ours. And so theirs comes in at 48,915, and we'd be at 48,6. So we're a little less than Moberly in that case. You take Marshall, they're at 47,673 to start. They don't contribute anything to the HSA, and they make their people pay 10% of their insurance on the single plan. So when you back that down, that's about 46,700. So again, when you compare at least those 3, 2 of them are below us, one's a little higher. So at least we're in the mix now, whereas before, our other numbers we were below all of them.
Well, as a person who employs about, or did, or have involvement in about 90 employees, I can tell you that when you get a 20, we are 21 or 23 or 24-year-old person, they're interested in this take-home pay, and they don't care about retirement and health insurance because they've never been sick in their life, and they're not going to retire for another 40 years. So when you add, you can say, I got a good salary here, and you got all these extras, but I can tell you that my young people don't consider that as heavy as you do.
They're much more in the, what's the latest shiny
How much
penny?
beer can I buy?
Yeah. It's not so much about all that, even though there's a big cost to us.
I understand.
But you're right, they'll come in and they'll even make the comment, well, can I get paid more if I don't take the insurance?
Well, sure.
Yeah.
And sometimes you gotta protect them against themselves too.
Well, a lot of those they're young people, and they also have young children, lots of them, and a lot to deal with that maybe I don't have to deal with anymore, so.
So we're trying to get them more competitive, hopefully give us a little bit better of an edge, and then let the compensation study really tell us where we're at as far as what we need to do, and what we may need to do to be better than some folks.
Yeah, I say, I don't want to just float along with their ships. I want to be the flagship.
Yeah.
If you want to attract officers here, you got to have something.
Yeah,
But that's my question.
and that's what we're hoping
enough?
this study will do for us.
So if we approve this now, our budget is in August?
We will start, in August.
working on it.
Yeah, working with council. It goes into effect October, so we hope to have those numbers to be able to add into all that at that time.
So if we decided to do more 6 months from now, it could be adjusted up,
Yes.
based on this information we're getting?
Yep.
What would be your preferred timeline to reevaluate the compensation?
Well, with this, we're doing the study right now, so we hope to have that information for you for the budget timing, which will come in, at the first part of August, that will go into effect then in October.
I move that we approve the proposed public safety schedule, and that's,
Amendment B, probably.
I'm on the wrong side.
Amendment B.
Amendment B, there it was, I'm looking for that, attachment B, okay. I move
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Fink,
Yes.
Ray,
Yes.
Haig,
Yes. Right, another staff report. Oh, man, it's been a while. You're excited.
Making up for it.
All
with
right,
two.
there you go. 2, authorized purchase and installation of 2 new sludge pumps for the wastewater department. Mr. Schlegel.
Yes, we have these pumps planned this time, and to cover the details of the pumps being requested, Drew Williford, Public Works.
It's a good note to add on there. That is planned, budgeted for and all. We've got a total of 6 of these pumps in the bottom of our thickening building. We actually replaced one of these last year, and it was a bit of a test. The Penn Valley pump, you may recall, came through here, I believe, in May of last year, and our wastewater staff installed it, and it's been working pretty well. We had one minor glitch, but that got taken care of pretty quickly, and we're pleased to announce, I think, everything is geared for this pump being a very good replacement for those 6 that are down there. So at this point, we budgeted for 2 more, and we'd like to proceed with purchasing those 2 more. The reason being several-fold. One of those is actually due to the pumps we have reaching the end of their life cycle, and then also they use a water cooling style instead of the other type of cooling that the Penn Valley pumps will use, so that water is actually open to the environment, causes a lot of corrosion, and that has led to a lot of problems there. So because of that, the crew approached Municipal Equipment out of Earth City, Missouri, which is where we purchased the original Penn Valley pump last year, and they provided us for 2 of these a quote of $55,420. That does not include installation. That'll be done by our wastewater crew, and then there will be a cost associated with materials, and then also the electrician that will be hiring our on-call electrician to conduct the wiring for that. The budget this year does contain $70,000 for the purchase and installation of these pumps. So we'd recommend proceeding with purchase for these 2 Penn Valley pumps from Municipal Equipment, again for a price of $55,420. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Can't do a hand crank, I guess. Just have to
We might have some
hire a guy
turnover.
to just...
No pun intended, turnover.
I move for the purchase of the 2 new sludge pumps for the wastewater department from Municipal Equipment for $55,420.
Miller.
Yes.
Briggs. Fink.
Yes.
Ray.
Yes.
Hay.
Yes. Pay the bills.
Do we pay the claims?
Second.
Miller.
Yes.
Briggs.
Yes.
Fink.
Yes.
Ray.
Yes.
Hay.
Yes. Council comments. We'll start with Dr. Fink.
I don't have anything to comment.
Sounds good. Mr. Ray, congratulations first.
I do have a comment.
Okay.
Or more of a question. Did the sirens go off in southern Mexico today? They did? Because over by the Y, they didn't really hear the sirens. You didn't hear them? I didn't hear them. I live in Southern Hills, so that was the part that was in the...
They thought the tornado was going to go down Lakeview and missed the Y.
Yeah. Well, I guess the question is, we don't have zoned...
There are a number out there. Were all of them working that you know of, Chief?
As far as I know, hearing them is always a difficult thing, and actually, some of us were out and about, and I was having trouble hearing some. Officers were telling me that they were hearing them at different spots, but I did understand that down in the Springdale court area was difficult. We'll follow up on that. But they actually sounded 3 times today, and I believe it was confirmed the second and third time did work, but we'll follow up.
Yeah, specifically around the fairgrounds area was the concern. So, thank you, that's all I have.
Mr. Ray, congratulations,
Thank
Grandpa.
you. Grandpa again, so,
Nice, there you
yeah,
go.
little baby girl, pretty excited. Everybody's healthy, so that's exciting. And just delivered some milk over there to that residence, so all is well with those young couple. The mega sale on the square was well attended, it looked like. We hung out up there for a little while, and lots of people were there, so. And then is King Charles coming to Mexico, or he landed today in the United States? I didn't know if
He's coming here, though.
Okay, all right. Shoot. Okay, that's all I have.
Yeah, Mr. Miller.
Maybe like Dr. Fink, I think I passed.
All right. Mrs. Briggs.
I don't think I heard the sirens the other day. I was listening for them, but that's Briarwood. So, Briarwood, yeah.
I heard him.
Mr. Slagle.
We heard the sirens, we spent time in the basement.
There you go.
We were watching TV. We were watching it.
Mr. Slagle. Oh, you got it? Yeah. I heard him the third time. I don't know if first or second. When my son came over, he has some sort of weird sonic hearing. So he's like, and I don't know. I guess I just tuned him out because he says, "Is that tornado sirens?" I go, "Oh yeah, those are the tornado sirens with that." Yes, the well-attended events, I believe, on the square for the chamber, good for the city. Did Arbor Day with the park department. Chad, it was a good day. We got to test the trees out there because all the wind, so they blew, but they brought the middle school kids over there, so we had a bigger crowd this year, and, it always seems like that's kind of a kickoff to, kind of opening the parks and getting them ready, and so we hope people go out there and enjoy those, and because I know our park staff works very hard to keep them nice, and we hope that we have enough things for people to do if they want to. Next is public comments. If you have a comment to make, please step to the podium, state your name, your address, and you will have 3 minutes.
Good evening. My name is Richard Gold. I live at 1010 East Liberty Street. I'm the chairman of the Mexico Tourism Commission. I watched the video on February 9th meeting. Everyone in the council asked why did we recommend the amounts that we recommended? Why did we give so little? Why did we vote the way we voted? Nobody can answer you because nobody from the commission was there to answer you. That's on me. I'm the chairman, and I should have been here. I went to the city hall this morning and asked if I could give a presentation to you guys, and I was told no. It is not fair to ask the commission to make recommendations, then not allow them to explain the recommendations. That's exactly what happened right now, and that should change. Here is why the way the vote had happened. Missouri Statute 92325 defines exactly what the money is used for. It's a transient guest, a person who comes outside of Mexico, stays in a hotel for no more than 31 days, and then comes to an event here. That's what the law states. That's what we can spend the money on. So, 3 requirements. Come from somewhere other than Mexico. Stay in a hotel. Be here for an event. That is why on the application we receive, ask for how many overnight stays do you project? That is why we ask, have you contacted the hotels? Because that's what the law states. This is why we recommended the amounts we recommended. One-day events get less funding. The probability of an overnight hotel stay for a one-day event that happens from 9 to 5 event is low. Tractor pull participation puts their money into the equipment, not hotels. The Jeep thing, that is a one-day event. We recommended $2,000 for each of those, and we thought that was generous. Contrast, the Soybean Festival. It's a 3-day event. People come from outside Mexico. They stay overnight. That is a tourism that gets fully funded. That's what we recommend. We recommend funds for non-tourism events in the hopes that they become a 2- or 3-day event. Not to hinder them, not to reward them for an 8-hour event. That is not arbitrary. That is strategy. We want these events to grow into real tourism-driven. We recommend them at the levels consistent with what they are today, while encouraging them to become what they need, what we would like them to be tomorrow. And just because the fund has $260,000, it does not allow us to stop being good stewards of the taxpayer money. The money was collected on hotel rooms at the time the visitors in the city. It deserves to be spent at the same care and the same collection. I have about 3 more minutes if you would allow me to take 3 more minutes.
We only do 3 minutes for public comments. If you would like to come back to the next meeting and do it again, you're more than welcome.
I wouldn't think this would be public, but
So, yeah. So, thank you.
Move adjourned.
Second.
Miller,
Yep.
Briggs,
Yes.
Fink,
Yes.
Ray,
Yes.
Hague.
Yes.